ain't no finish line. Call no man happy till he's dead. There's a pressure behind my soul. I can feel it in my bones. There's a storm coming.
All right, and welcome. While I move us into our correct places real quick, I just disappeared. What happened? Hi, I am Michael. Pronouns are he, him, and I am going to be GMing Ars Magica this evening. If we want to go through and introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Sarah, and I am playing Percy, the spy. We'll see what he's like.
Hey, I am Nessa, she, they, and I will be playing Giselle, who is ostensibly a scribe. Ostensibly.
Hi, I'm Steve. I'm playing Eldrick Caecilius. He is a just soldier. I don't know anything about him yet. I just made him.
Okay, so let me just do this. Well, Sarah, what was your character's name again?
See?
Was what?
Percy.
What?
It's in the Covenant.
I am struggling to hear Sarah.
Percy, can you guys hear me? Hello.
Yep.
Yeah, that's better.
I don't know what's going on here. Did I hit the button?
I don't think so. Here, let me.
I'm on a new camera today, and I'm not liking it very much. But my iPad's going nuts.
Okay, so Ars Magica. Well, I try to get this is giving me a little bit of. There we go. Ars Magica, not like a lot of other TTRPGs, in the fact that you don't always play like the same characters. Matter of fact, generally what's going to happen is we'll have like one mage, one companion, and a few grogs. Grogs are, if you want to think of Lord of the Rings, I would say Legolas and Gimli and Boromir, I would call grogs, because essentially they can be just as good. They can do a ton of cool stuff. They just tend not to be as important to the story as, say, the others. Let me also do this real quick. I'm going to get your names on here correctly in a moment. There's one thing that it does that I dislike. Give me just a second here. So if you want to recap what happened last time while I get this part fixed.
Lear and the was it Hunter and Bastion were going on a quick hunt of Viz things, which was the crystal fish. We were gathering crystal fish from the pond.
Raw magic, essentially.
Raw magic. And then we got sucked into the fairy realm. Before that, Lear had learned that Bastion had the tear of a fairy queen, and she was like saying like, hey, you might want to give that to me, and he's like, no, this is for me. So she said hide it, and he did for a bit, but then we got sucked in the fairy realm, and it's the water fairy queen. Is that who it was?
The queen of golden glass is the one that is near you.
Yeah.
The other
queen
one,
of golden glass.
Yeah, the other one showed up.
So, the Queen of Golden Glass invited me to dinner for a sit down to talk, and then Hunter and Bastion were invited to this festival feast thing, and stuff went down. Bastion and Hunter drank some wine. Lear did not, and when she went to go rescue them, the Queen of Golden Glass was like, nope, they have to stay now. And then Bastion got a lyre and played the most beautiful song on earth. And the queen and the other queen, fairy queen that he originally flirted with, showed up. And Yeah, and then he got another fairy queen tier, so he's got matching set now, and we have to go back there because we came back to the main world. We had taken the Lear with us, and Lear had taken fairy clothes with her. So now we're kind of in debt to the fairies, more or less. Did I get everything? Has anything else happened?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
That about wraps it up.
Okay.
That was essentially the important stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is on the fairies, though. Also, do I sound horrible on the headphones?
You
sound
sound
fine.
a little echoey, but not too bad.
Okay, sorry about the switch. I hate this laptop so much.
All right. So we are in Greece. We're in the Thessaly, the technical area, not terribly far from a town called Demetrius, and also kind of just down the way a bit from Mount Olympus. The Covenant itself is this giant. It's a mine for marble that includes like Daedalus, the father of Icarus, and the creator of the wings. And there is nearby a city called Demetrius, which no longer exists. Has been essentially swallowed up by another city, but was still around the time of the Fourth Crusade, and we are about 16 years after that. So, because we've had Zaldin working alongside Demetrius itself, it's been a good idea to have people that are kind of just keeping an eye on what's happening in the city. You know what surprises, like last time, like where you had essentially the elder, not the elder, sorry, the dean of the local church was gathering people and essentially making their way into some of the woods nearby to rip stuff out. And you have a Bjornir mage who's not a huge fan of that in general, but also it's going to upset magical creatures and stuff that are out there because the Greek Isles do still have a good deal of magic kind of around them. So you had people like in the city kind of coming in and out. It's not too far. I mean, you can get there and stay for a little while when there's some time. Remind us, it's been a little bit since we kind of played with Giselle. If you want to remind us about her some.
So Giselle was in a very bad. I was about to say marriage. She was not. She was in like a situationship. Didn't realize she was in a situationship. She just thought she had an older male mentor, and by the time that she realized what the whole situation was, she was very young. She was like 19. It was too late. She had to run away in the night. That apparently really pissed off some local ghosts. So now she has the ghosts of women who did have to get married to, I don't think specifically to that guy, but like in general, kind of haunting her, telling her to go back and kill this guy. Why him specifically? But she's just basically, she went on the run after, years of like etiquette training, history, like all this stuff that was just meant to make her a wife. Was just like, all right, and all of that's useless. Time to go live in the woods. And then, eventually made her way back into society, like miles and miles and miles away from this guy.
All right. And you have been at some time like getting away from the Covenant a little bit and basically been in the city itself, staying at, there's an inn that you kind of have a permanent room in because the Covenant has quite a bit of resources. Tell us what you're thinking so far about our two grogs rather, that are with us, because we have Eldrick and Percy. What are you thinking about them so far? About who they are? What about Percy?
You want me to talk about him, or is Nessa?
What are your thoughts are so far? First Sarah.
I think Percy's an opportunist. I think in my mind, he came with probably with Bastion's village, and he didn't have much when he was there, and he has even less now. So he's just kind of looking for, again, opportunities. So he's very fun to be around. He's very charming, but he is a sneaky dude.
Okay. I think Eldrick is I don't know. I think he's a soldier, and I think he's solely there to just make sure if anything bad happens, the two that are there are protected. I think he's kind of like the personal security, but he's just going with the flow mostly right now.
Okay. And to start with, Nessa, we're going to use your gossip ability here. If you want to, so basically you're a gossip, you're someone who talks to a lot of people on a simple roll of 6 or more, which in this case is just essentially to see what information you've got. I think the easiest way for you to do that right now, without using I don't know if you got the macros down there, if you just want to click on, say, your perception and do a roll there, because it's at a +0.
Does Giselle have gossip? I thought she's intrigue.
No, gossip is a virtue, not an ability.
Oh, okay.
It's just on a simple roll of 6+, which means you don't do the exploding dice. So if you just want to make a roll, probably see if you've got some information about what's happening.
Okay. Let's give it a go. Damn you. Damn you, Outlook.
That's the computer problems.
I hate this computer so much. Okay. So just like a D10?
Yeah.
I'm going to see if Roll20 will save, or Foundry will save me.
Yeah, you can do it that way. Or you can your perception was a +0, so that would have been the same thing. 9. Okay, so
There we go.
here's the thing. Y'all are kind of at the end. You're having dinner one evening. You are pretty well appraised of all the stuff that's been going on because Zaldin has been coming around and was blessing the crops and let them know that for a month, essentially, it meant that the crops were going to be growing in really well, really strong. But I think Zaldin was probably pretty clear that after a month, it can't be guaranteed at that point. But a month of guaranteed growth gets you past kind of the most nerve-wracking part of it. So you got them to this point. One of the things with the agriculture is they have to leave like a third of their fields fallow, and the other ones have to change each night or each season, each year, and they have like animals will graze on the ones that are going like fallow in there to just kind of keep manure and such on the field. There's a lot of stuff that they'll do to make sure stuff is happening. Make sure that basically things will get better. And there is a man, Soterius Anestides. Soterius is a dick.
Yeah.
This man has always been a dick, and he's become a very loud one. Because the 3 plots that are kind of close together, a man named Damien Calvert, and Bartolo Piracelli. Damien and Bartolo are both from they're basically like lesser nobility that came along with the Crusades and just decided to stay in this general area, which had been a problem for a while, but it's been 16 years at this point. There is a point where after the fall of Constantinople, and the Fourth Crusade, some people have gotten used to it, but Soterius took the fact that the mage came and blessed those fields personally. Particularly because it's not his fields right now, and he believes Damien and Bartolo are essentially scheming to get more favor with the Earl of Demetrius as well as the Dean in the church. And the thing is, Soterius is a dick. And currently, while the 3 of you are sitting there, not too far away, because there's probably nothing to show that any of the 3 of you had been are connected to the covenant.
Oh, yeah, probably not.
No, I'd say probably not.
So they're near, and they're deep in their drinks, and they're getting a little bit louder than maybe they should, and there's other people kind of moved away. The three of you are relatively close, and you hear one of them go, "It's that mage, I tell you. Brought him in here. You know what that is? Devil's work. Dean Amel allowed it to happen. The Earl was right there with them. They did this on purpose. They're coming. No good will come of this. Trucking with magic." He just spits on the floor, kind of nearby, and he goes, "I think we can get some things done, though." At which point, one of them just goes, "Oh, the football game coming up." And they kind of lower they're being much quieter now at this point as they're talking. Now you do know that coming up in like 2 weeks, mob football was a real thing. where essentially you would, what the great thing about mob football is, essentially you would basically take a part of the village or the town, or you'd split it up into areas. One group, the people that lived at or were born in one place, would try to get the ball to the other side, and essentially, you're not supposed to. Killing the players is forbidden. A certain amount of striking is going to happen. Striking members of your own team can happen. Everyone gets so drunk. Trampling crops is also one of the things that does occasionally happen, but they're not necessarily supposed to. It's very hard to lay any kind of blame for any of those stuff. There's kind of an unlimited number of players. It basically is a town drunken free for all that takes place as it's getting a little bit colder in the season, when it's suitable. There's supposed to be one coming up in a few weeks, like 2 weeks.
We should do that to this day.
Citywide football games?
But also entirely based off of where you're born.
I think that's a bad idea.
I wouldn't want to have to go back to North Dakota, which I don't remember being in.
I think there would be a lot less tension between New York and New Jersey if we just had one day where we let it all out. No killing.
Good luck on that.
Actually, you know what? You're right. Strike that. It's fun in concept. I think Giselle is just sitting there like, oh my god, I've been at this place too fucking long that this is the gossip that I'm getting.
Worry about them. They're idiots.
Idiots that we're in charge of.
Look, if they want to insult the mages, that's their deal. Mages have more power than them.
Sarah, go ahead and also roll a d10. You also have gossip. I'm going to see if you happen to know a little bit about some of the other things.
Let's get my character up.
If you just want to hit, your intelligence is a +0, so if you just roll that on a simple die.
Where is it? Hold on. Okay. So roll intelligence?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just because it's a +0, it's not an actual intelligence.
Is it in my abilities?
No, literally, if you just go and click your intelligence.
Okay.
Because your gossip is a virtue, not an ability. You just roll a simple die.
Okay.
Yeah. So you need at least a 6 on there to get gossip. Here's the thing that you know. These guys, Soterius has been seen hanging around a little bit with there's a smuggling business, like kind of bringing in there's goods and such that they kind of sell to people kind of further out in some of the smaller areas, but there is a smuggling business essentially that has been run a bit with Damien and Bartolo, and there definitely has a lot of this is to avoid taxes and stuff too. And Soterius and some of his friends have been you've heard tell that they made some threats that have to do with this. It's been that place, like the black market there has actually been a pretty good source of information at times coming in, because there's a tendency for tongues get a little loosened, and you've probably helped out at the docks a few times.
All right. Let's see if I can switch my personality to. I don't think I. This guy doesn't have any martial ability, so I don't think he's gonna pick a fight.
Mm-hmm.
But he's gonna tuck that information away. Let them talk. Everyone knows they're drunks and they're idiots. Let them talk. It's okay.
I mean, the best way to learn about idiots is to become an idiot. Where's that guy? Have him go get drinks around.
Is Eldrick just by the door?
He's sitting at the
She's
table
probably sitting. Yeah,
with
the
you.
three of you are all probably sitting there.
Oh, Eldrick, hey.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you want to do us a favor and chat those guys up quickly?
The two that are bad mouthing Zolden?
Yeah.
That's what you want me to find out.
Just talk to them a bit.
If there's a way for you to introduce us at some point and not as who we currently are, that would be helpful.
Okay. Got it. Give me a silver.
I reached in my bag. Pot of silver.
He's gonna go up. He's gonna buy 3 drinks, one for him and then one for the 2 people. And then he's gonna just sit down and do his carousing.
Okay, next to the three of them.
Yeah, no, he's gonna sit next to the 2 that we're talking about. Or there are 3 there.
There's 3. The other,
he's gonna buy 4 drinks and sit down with, or go down with the 3 of them. And be like, hey,
it's
next
him,
round's on me.
Him, Pavlos, and Elias.
Only do 2. It's like the male equivalent of negging. Just like there's only 2 of you are worthy of drinks.
Nah, he's gonna get all of them a drink and sit down, just like, hey, next round's on me.
And then they sort of stop, and the 3 of them kind of look at you. So yeah, you're not usually kind of around this area as much. So one of them goes,
Yeah.
Do I know you, friend?
Nah, I'm new around here. Just trying to make some friends. You know how it is. New place, need to get ingrain yourself in the society, all that happy jealous.
Kind of takes a moment, like looks you up and down. What do you look like? You got like a bunch of fighting skills.
So I imagine he's around 5'8". He's pretty built. He's muscular.
Mm-hmm.
He does not have his armor with him or his shield at this point. He just has an axe on his side. Do people carry weapons in this time?
You wouldn't be carrying them around normally, like at an inn or something. No,
yeah,
no.
He's just
have them with you.
He's just in normal clothes, but he's built. He's stocky.
Okay. Yeah, they sort of look up at you. Now you've got a little bit of experience in this. If you want to hit your, you got
carouse.
Yeah, your carouse is drinking, which isn't necessarily, yeah. The specialty won't help there, but you could do carouse.
All right,
as you start drinking.
All right, so not that. All right, simple or I think this is pretty simple, right?
Yeah, a little simple.
Wow, that's pretty good.
11. Yeah, you kind of like at first, like they are not really open to you at first, but you know what they are open to?
Free drinks.
Free drinks. So they'll sort of take that, but as you get them to kind of keep like drinking a bit more, they get a little bit more like a little looser tongue. Like, so you know around here, wait, like, are you Greek, or are you would you be considered like someone who came in with the Crusades?
No, I think he's one of the people that was. No, he couldn't have been at the Covenant because he doesn't have lycanthropy.
Well, that just means he wasn't born at the Covenant.
Yeah, I think he's been at the Covenant for a while before the Mages as part of like the security team.
But I would say the the people that kind of came in with the Crusades, that like, are you from this area or are you a foreigner? Because there are a good amount of foreigners that came and stayed because they.
I'm gonna
put a
say
bunch of-
I'm gonna say he's probably a foreigner.
Okay. Yeah, so they seem a little like possibly a little bit more on edge with you, because they don't necessarily know what to, if you're kind of with the rest of them. You see them talking and such, and I would say next to them, both Giselle and Percy, you're seeing kind of the same thing. As you're going, like he's got them loosened up and drinking, but they're not. They kind of stopped talking about the stuff they were talking about. And that's probably because this is someone who is an outsider.
I think I grab Giselle and I pull her over, and I actually have Carouse's loosening tongues. So I think I'm gonna come over and be like acting a little bit too drunk for myself. Like hey there, fellas, how you doing today?
And yeah, they look up at Percy. You're from this area.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, like you know them. Yeah, you spend a lot of time at the Covenant and such. Percy, and then they sort of look over at Giselle, and then like,
this is my friend Giselle. She's a lovely person.
Yeah, so Terry has got some eyes for you, Giselle. Unfortunately, your curse of Venus means that happens a lot. You're kind of usually like, friend of Percy's. This is Eldrick, I believe your name was.
Yeah, Eldrick.
I tell you, it's been a rough season.
This has. Oh, it was. You've been helping out with some of the.
I'm trying, man. It's every day in the fields, trying to make things grow. We have a boom of people coming in, can't get fed. Our own people are starving. I'm gonna roll my loosening tongues.
Okay.
Ooh.
Simple die?
Simple.
Okay,
Oh,
7.
You would have a +1 because of your specialties, loosening tongues.
Oh, can I do it? Yeah, I have a three here.
8.
It would just mean you have an 8. So yeah, anytime the specialty, the stuff you have in parentheses, that just means you get a +1 when you do something along those lines. So yeah, you get them kind of drinking for a bit. How do you bring Eldrick in? Because they know Percy. They think Giselle is hot. But Eldrick still seems like a foreigner. And like I'm assuming Eldrick also clearly looks like someone who knows their way around a fight.
Oh yeah.
So they're
Does Eldrick know anything about farming?
No. He knows fighting, drinking, avoiding duties, apparently.
The thing is, I did hear an interesting thing where there was a thing talking about people in this time period specifically, but instead people in the past. Like when we think about them as like, they're stupid or kind of whatever, we tend to forget how many things like there's agricultural things you'll just know because you probably had to do it. Unless you were born in a city, there's a lot of like making fires, a bunch of stuff with like that we today have a tendency not to know. Your characters will have just because you live in a world where you have to learn that stuff as a kid. So that will be true for some of you. You may have been from a city or something, so you may not have had to worry about that stuff.
Even the modern day. I went on a trip once, and I was like in like rural China. And the family I was staying with went out and butchered a pig for us.
Oh wow!
And I was like, I remember being like, hey, where's breakfast? We're doing breakfast together. Oh, there's just a whole pig.
Was I petting him yesterday?
I wish.
Yeah.
I wish I
So
could
is Eldrick city born?
Yeah, I'm gonna say he was city born. He has been wielding a weapon since as early as he can remember, and his life has basically been fighting, running, and drinking.
Okay, Steve, I don't want to. This is going to make it seem like my characters are 3 for 3, but I think Giselle is just going to like lean in on being like, this guy, he's here. I'm talking with this guy. If you want me to stay here and talk to you, this guy has to be here. the hot girl's boyfriend rule.
Yeah.
But
okay.
you're just a stranger.
Yep. Yeah. So between that and then Percy, like you kind of like work these three to get them kind of drunk at one point. When they're finally going, one of them's like, you know how they came here. My father had this land first, and he had to sell some of it because of the Crusades. Came here. They just gave this place to the Earl Yaklin. Just gave it to him, and they're bringing in their friends. And you know what? This is a place that should be for those of us who were born and lived and died here. Right, Eldrick?
Right on, man. Absolutely. Fuck them foreigners.
It's I mean, Percy, you're from, and Giselle, your accent doesn't seem you from.
She's been here a long time, man. She might as well be native born. You know how it is.
Okay. He goes, how do you feel about I'm sure you've heard about the mages, the fields.
How can you fight them? You can't even face them. They come into a room and it's just like...
One of them, this is the same one that brought the tiger with him into town. I was there. I saw it.
A tiger? God.
And he talked to it. I saw the thing. He talked to it and then he went into the church.
Wait, there was a guy talking to a tiger?
The mage. And I'm assuming your tiger probably went with you when you went around to all the different, to do the fields.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, basically,
when Zaldan travels, the tiger is with him.
The thing is, they made it very clear the tiger, if he comes into Demetrius, that's a problem.
Comes into around the fields is fine.
People kept the hell away from you for a lot of that stuff. And then you made a tree walk, right?
Yeah, he made a tree walk across the street.
Then he left the church, and I saw a tree move. That is devil's work.
Mages. What are we gonna do about them?
We can put pressure on the dean, but it kind of looks around, and at this point, other people are like there's a bit of a clearance around y'all because again, Sotiris is a dick. Damien and Bartolo, my neighbors. Our plots are adjacent, and they've made me be fallow in this time, and they are living that up. Their crops are coming in so well. But they run a business on the side. We're going to hit that. And then they've been close with the dean. It's so weird to call a priest a dean. I mean, it's the correct thing. It's true. But it just feels... It feels like it should be
like a school.
Yeah. It feels like it's someone at a school, but that is
yeah, Maria's on double secret probation.
Yeah, but Dean Armel Victor, he's been close with them. He's dealing with the devil because he's working with those mages, and I think he's got some of his higher ups coming through soon. And I think if we talk to them, we can get rid of him, and maybe kick out some of these foreign lords that have come here.
Alright.
So there's a lot. So there's high up priests coming through.
The Archbishop's supposed to come through in a few weeks.
Make sure I'm scarce for that.
There's problems with the Archbishop?
No, I'm a nobody. I don't want to talk to higher ups, man.
You think we're going to be able to talk to them? Normally we can't talk to the higher ups, but we can get information to him. We can get messages to him. Let him know that the people aren't happy.
Mm. How do you plan on doing that?
Let's just say I am still a landowner. I still have some pull. They come through.
Michael,
Hmm?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Because Giselle would know this. My entrancement ability, is that something where the person, once they're out of it, is like witchcraft?
Let me just double check. I think part of it. I mean, also it doesn't help right now. The dude's hammered, and we've all said something. We went like, "Oh, that was a secret that I let be said."
I mean, yeah. If anything, I feel like it would help.
Yeah. So, verbally command them to perform a certain task. You can say something in a way that's not going to make them think, "Hey, they forced me to say something." Because if you just say, "Tell me everything right now," they'll look back and go, "Hey,
Yeah.
why did I do that?" But if it's something kind of like what you just said, a little flirtier, it can just be like you're entrancing the eyes, and then he'll just very possibly spill without noticing. You are putting the magical eyes on him.
Okay, I might save that for later. We might go outside and get a cigarette.
Please, or cigarette.
Exactly. All right, sorry to interrupt.
Okay. he goes, we'll be able to speak. Because I do have some pull still.
I think I like lean over to Percy and I'm like, "Do you want me to find out what this?" I like whisper, like.
He
"Do you
just
want me to
leans
find out
over
what
and
the
he's
call
got
is?"
kind of the hot spits. He just kind of lets happen straight on the floor.
Yeah, do whatever you gotta do.
Uh, I could use some air. Is there any gentleman who might accompany me outside?
And the three look a little bit jealously like at Eldrick because you've kind of been a little on Eldrick's arm for part of it to get him involved. So they seem
They don't like that.
no, they're expecting that to be like a, "Hey Eldrick, we want to go," but like it'll take him a moment to realize that you two are not maybe together.
Yeah. Well, I
So-
think he'll get the message when I put my hand on his wrist.
Oh,
Very forward.
Or for Eldrick, or
No,
It's
on the guy
Tyrus.
we're trying to get info from.
Yeah, so Tyrus
That's
just
Tyrus.
kind of like he just kind of looks at your hand, looks up at you, then takes a moment like look at like Eldrick. Eldrick, how are you reacting in this?
Eldrick just kind of does that like wink to him, is like,
He's kind of like, okay. And he stands up and he follows you outside.
I go outside. I know we had a whole conversation about how cigarettes don't really exist, but cigarettes exist, damn it. Or pipes or whatever. She's gonna step outside, and as soon as we chat for like maybe like 30 seconds before she like beckons him over and pulls her bangs out of her eyes and like looks at him.
Mm-hmm.
In a subtle-ish way. And then I'm gonna ask the question that's like, "An important man like you, what kind of connections do you have?"
If you want to make you're doing your woo, 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 woo.
Yeah, which actually I'm kind of risking it doing this because my enchantment is actually not that good. Like it would be sooner to charm him than it would be to enchant him.
It's
But
your
you know,
intelligence.
it's
It's
faster.
intelligence plus enchantment. Your intelligence helps.
Yeah.
Holy
17!
shit!
crap. Imagine if
I'm
that
so-
exploded.
God.
We
Oh,
can't
well,
because
sorry.
like
Oh yeah, I guess it's affected. Oh shit. The aura would not be there. Here I wasn't thinking that was a magical ability. Of course it is. Let me configure the aura. You are currently in. We'll say it's there's just a level 1 divine aura right now. Just you're in the city.
Yeah, and well, also I'm hoping that the drinking, the being outside, the
I said,
smoke, the moonlight.
Yeah, which will take yours down a bit. It'll take it down 3. It's 6 to 11, because the magical abilities have essentially negative 3 times the aura of a divine aura. Is how those interact. But yeah, there's just a moment. But he's also kind of drunk and stuff. And what was your question again?
I was like, an important man like you, what kind of connections do you have? I think kind of the implication being like that you can get a letter to the church, the higher ups in the church.
Let's just say that there's some people, and then like as he just sort of like, then his body sort of like part of it drops a little bit, but his eyes, it's almost like he's being held in the air by the gaze between your eyes. Let's just say there's an upcoming priest who wishes to be the dean, and he's still drunk, still sounds drunk, who wishes to be the dean of Demetrius, and if he can get rid of Dean Armel, that lets him come in and do the things he thinks need to be done. And he's able to get myself and some others in to talk about some of the damages that we believe have been happening because of Lachlan and, well, some of my neighbors as well as others included. Some of the illegal things happening. The church might step in to take care of the waywardness and maybe have us do a little something more about these mages who, my friend, does not appreciate at all.
All right, I'm going to give it a couple more minutes outside with him before I head back inside to, grab Percy and other guy.
Richard Thompson.
Eldrick.
Eldrick.
He just goes, Richard Thompson. He's the one. He's also came with the rest of them, but I think he's one that can basically be one of us.
Richard Thompson.
Sounds British.
With very likely, again, with some of the people who came through the Crusades,
English.
there have been a lot of people from out of country that kind of were put in positions of power in this area.
Yep. Crusades really did do a number on everything.
Yeah. Then you go back in and you said you talked to Percy and Eldrick?
Yeah, I mean, obviously not like, cool, anyway, great. We chat for a couple of minutes and then I make a normal exit.
Okay. It's just him just kind of outside, and you hear like some vomiting as y'all poured a lot of drinks down his throat. Then he kind of stumbles his way home. The two of you have been sitting there, and just kind of like, is there anything in particular you're chatting with Pavlos and Elias about?
They don't seem to have any awareness of this smuggling thing, do they?
Of the what thing?
The smuggling thing?
Yes. Yeah, because you kind of bring up the three of them are aware. The three of them, like, this was like the really shitty group of people, like in high school, who kind of just remained friends that nobody else liked afterwards because they were really just not great people. They're aware, and they're. I
think I'm just chatting him up. I have guile gaining trust, so I think I'm just gonna chat him up and kind of like, I got your back. If you need anything, okay. you know where to find me.
Give it a roll. See how well that goes. As they're sort of talking a little bit, we'll see if they start to spill more about
specialty.
Shit, 14.
Yeah.
At one point, he does just kind of look at you and go, how dirty do you want to get your hands?
I don't care. Dirty hands can get clean money.
We have a couple friends and such. We're getting involved, going in, helping smuggle some of the stuff in off the ships in the evening when nobody's there on the docks. We could use a few more people because we just need. We need to kind of break open a few, like just one or two more people to our side of things. A little bit of money, a little bit of bribes. And some opportunities once we get rid of these guys.
I'm your man.
Like at this point, they goes, Eldrick, you, hell, you could be a dock worker. Look at you.
Need any? Yeah, I can lift. I can do stuff, and I'm pretty good with a weapon too. If you ever need that kind of help.
None of it'll come to that. We think we got. It's easy to get some legal ways to take care of that, or well, there's a festival coming up soon. There, let's just say the football game may get a little out of hand.
Well, like I said, I'm willing to help if you need it. I can lift boxes, make someone disappear if I need to, whatever you need me to do.
This, you do murder?
I did not say that. I said I could make someone.
I'm so,
It's like I did not say that. Wink.
because I don't. And then like looks a little concerned over at Percy, like holy shit, like I don't think we'll need that, but yeah, if you're looking to make a little bit of coin.
All right, count me in.
Yeah, I'm assuming when Giselle gets back, I'm assuming you guys anything you want to do with these two before they take off and also quite drunk and make their way home.
Nah.
All right.
Yep. We all meet up again.
Souls.
They don't like the mages at all, do they?
They're not an easy pill to swallow.
What did I can't remember his name. Was Salarius?
Soterius.
Satirius? What did Satirius say?
Siri said that amongst this party is someone who's looking to be promoted to dean, who might have an ear, a welcoming ear.
Amongst the coming religious folk?
Which that was my understanding.
Yeah, I'm assuming you tell Percy the name.
Oh yeah, I tell the name.
Yeah, you know Thompson's kind of he's a Weasley dude who came here looking for a bit more power than he ended up with.
Do I know this guy?
Yeah, he's here with Dean Victor. He works alongside of him, but he's the lesser of the ones there. He's essentially a step down below, and the dean kind of has a pretty good grasp on his power, and he tends to, that when he's talked with people from the other the local villages and such, he tends to handle that himself, as opposed to letting anyone else get kind of a base amongst the people here. He kind of guards that fairly jealously.
And I'm just saying the dean's assistant is not exactly what I would call connected.
Well, he's like the second. He's not the assistant. He's a priest that's underneath him.
Yeah, she knows, but she's like, I could talk to that fucking guy if I wanted to. Give me 6 months and I could convince that man of anything.
And he's the one that wants to take over for this guy.
Yeah, but there's someone in the way, so.
So their plan is to overthrow the current dean by using the high administration, then use their power to get this Richard feller in command who doesn't like the mages.
Ostensibly, but also I think kind of the natural chain of command would imply that he would step up if something were to happen.
My guess is also I'm with between Zaldin and Salim, you probably have a thing where the current priest is not quite sure because essentially the church is not entirely certain where that falls with mages. Different places will sort of attach it different ways. He's a little bit unsure, but when you have a couple good crops coming in, that can do a lot to kind of sway him. That's probably the current belief, because he feels like someone who could be brought into, hey, the mages being local could actually be good. He that was essentially probably what you would have learned through going around and doing the stuff with him. He's a little on. I mean, everyone's on edge, but
that's the current dean.
Yeah, the current dean, like he's not against. He's not sure entirely. He's not right now anti-mage, but the fact that you're doing some good around the area, and Yaklin is definitely someone who is at least pro Zaldin, because he's dealt with Zaldin. I don't know if the rest of you would have met him yet.
I mean, he's probably pro our crops are doing really well.
That goes a long way towards that.
And Zaldin is my mage, so...
Yeah, well, you're the one that traveled in with him, so yeah. So I don't know that we want to let that happen. I don't think you know who would be happy if the current dean were to be replaced.
Yes. Also, mages in general, I've noticed from the time that I've spent with them, can have a rather one-track mind. They seem to forget that conversations can be had, palms can be greased.
People can be greased.
You know.
They don't care about problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true.
Thinking we should tell
So,
them. Just keep this to
no.
ourselves and try to...
Absolutely not, Percy.
Mm.
If you want reimbursement for the silver that you spent on drinks tonight, I need you to understand that you are not to tell anyone in the entirety of Apano Maria about what we did tonight. We're going to take a whack at it, and if it all goes to shit, then we tell somebody.
Okay.
That's probably for the best. The mages don't like to get involved in stuff like this, and their solution just seems to be go kill them. So
Yes. We all remember what happened last month. Or not last month. We all remember what happened last year, right?
oh yeah, the guy, yeah.
Poor
Gaston.
Poor guy. Yeah. No, I do think they do a net good, but like, yeah, that doesn't seem to be the answer.
Hard decisions have to be made.
First,
And
ask questions later.
yes.
Plus,
Hard decisions have to be made.
doesn't Zaldin typically trust you to handle stuff like this?
Yes, he does. So
Steve's also like, I heard Zaldin's also a wonderful dancer. He's the good one. I don't know why you're talking about the other ones like that.
Very handsome and charming, doesn't commit genocide, you know.
I will admit, Zaldin was the first mage I ever met, and he was so wonderful that I thought everything that I'd ever been told about mages was a lie.
What?
And then I met the smelly one, with the feathers.
That actually might be an interesting thing to keep in mind.
Terrifying.
When Giselle met the other ones, like, would anyone have mentioned? Do you think Zaldin would have mentioned to Giselle at some point that he's different than a lot of other mages? Because you also have another gentle gift mage. Like, the question is Nessa, would it be a thing where you're like, oh, like, maybe I know that mages do this to people with their gift most of the time, or are you just going, I don't trust these two. They freak me out.
Zaldin would not have said anything. He would not have said anything about the other mages at all.
Oh, wait, no, Giselle has Order of Hermes lore, doesn't she?
I think so. Yeah, I'm magic a little bit, but do you think if I could just roll?
You do not have like that magic ability is kind of like natural for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not a thing you're probably aware of because most people don't ever have to deal with mages. Let's go. Give me just a D10 to see if it's been mentioned by anybody else. Simply because in the Covenant, it's a thing that, or unless you just want to decide you don't know.
I'm just gonna let the dice decide. Also, maybe she just sussed it out depending on this roll.
Yeah,
8.
You've probably been told a bit that because like you just talk to other people and you notice that everyone has a different reaction to Salim and Zaldin than they do to Lyra and Penn.
Well, I mean, also it's well put together one that wears pants, well put together one that wears pants, horrifying one that doesn't wear pants, and then kind of well put together one that also wears pants, but that one's also still terrifying. So clearly, it's not just like pants and cleanliness or magical power.
Is Lear the last one?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm assuming you wear pants.
Yeah, she wears pants.
Okay.
If it was just Pen, I'd be like, there's just something wrong with that one.
You just got Penn walking around like Mike Tyson in the dressing room, in the locker room.
I haven't seen that, but potentially, yes.
All right. But yeah, so we're not telling the mages unless this goes south. Oh boy, it's up to us. All right. What are we doing? You're in charge.
All right. We can either go straight to the priest, but he seems like a kind-hearted fellow. We could go to the neighbors and tell them that they need to get their business above board and or take out their neighbors ahead of time. If we let the neighbors know that their next door neighbors are about to snitch on them and their illegal business, then maybe some moves will be made. And we're not responsible for any moves they may or may not make.
That's too risky. Someone's gonna talk. Two
Mm.
can keep a secret if one's dead. You know that.
Yeah. Anonymous letter that happens to go to their neighbors, and then we work on something else on the side. No one can write. Never mind.
This needs to
But
be something that
also-
happens. What about using the football game as a distraction?
I said earlier a couple
Distraction
weeks. Let's
from what?
retcon that to like end of this week.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I'm thinking, oh yeah, we do long goal. I'm like, oh wait, we may not want to wait like and 2 weeks pass. They got the end of this week.
That sounds like a plan. What? Elaborate.
Well, we're trying to get rid of we're trying to get rid of these three, right?
Get rid of is a strong word. Foil their plan is also an option.
We can plant evidence in their neighbor's house that they know.
Maybe you can. If I go anywhere near a house, people are gonna notice.
I can do it. It's not a big deal. But we plant evidence of this that they know and they're planning on taking out. They have to have something. Think they have something written down?
What I've noticed, Percy, is that not a lot of people can read and write.
Hmm.
Michael, did it seem like any of them could potentially read or write?
Or is it?
I would say the manner like they were richer, so yes, they could.
Okay,
That
all right.
reminds
We
me,
could plant it.
I'm going to give you
There's
an
probably a
ability
letter,
because
but-
we forgot about this and we made your character. Ars Liberalis, which I don't think you have, is what lets you read and write.
Okay.
I guarantee
What?
that they
Another-
probably have a letter from Richard to them. We find that letter planted in the neighbor's house.
Okay. We could do that. I like that. You know what? I like that a lot. I was originally was like maybe we should just plant something on the what is it called when you're a dean in training?
Or we can always go the mage's way and kill them. Like either
Yeah.
one. Murder's an option.
Percy, calm it down. I like planting the letter.
I was
I like
thinking the
planting the
killing
letter.
option myself, Percy, but she's in charge.
Yeah.
I'm just saying not everything needs to end in murder. Let's get the letter thing a shot. I like it because it exposes both parties at the same time.
They said, "Oh,
If
be in murder."
if we could get the letter from Richard to them and any kind of correspondence about the plan, we could take it to the head mage, and he could blow the thing up to begin with.
I mean, we could also take it to the priest.
That's who I
True.
did I say mage? I meant priest. We could take it to the dean. He could blow it
Okay.
up.
Let's give it a go. Well, first of all, let's see if we can get a decent forgery going.
Ooh.
You are
Forgery.
probably the one who'd be best at that.
I
Yeah.
can't write.
I can write, but forgery might be better at your thing. Let's see what I got.
Yeah. Can you give me an example of he's someone important. I keep forgetting his name.
Dorios?
No, Howard or whatever.
Richard?
Oh,
Richard Thompson.
Richard?
Richard. Yes, Mr. Thompson. What a name.
All right. So it sounds like y'all going to start working on like gathering your stuff for a little bit of heist. All right. Do we want to take a bio break before we get into that part of it?
Sure.
Sure thing.
All right. 5-10 minutes.
About
Sounds good.
5-10, good to me.
Yeah.
All right.
Can we make it closer to 5?
Yeah.
Sure.
I will get that going, and we're gonna go back in 5. All right, and we are back, and I know y'all got some plans. Bring.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so people go home the next day. I think you all had everyone done a carouse roll before.
I didn't,
Okay.
but I was like not drinking as much.
Okay. Yeah, because one of those.
Giselle's a real shot over the shoulder gal.
Yeah, one of the things for that um, is be able to essentially like drink and party without consequences.
Beautiful. Well, mine is drinking,
Roughly.
so I'm pretty good at drinking.
I found myself good at things. All right. So next morning and such, everyone wakes up pretty well off, and you got some stuff to set in motion. What are y'all doing?
I think I am directing Percy to go steal me some handwriting samples of Mr. Thompson.
All right. Do we know where he lives?
Yeah,
I assume he lives at the church, right?
Well, there's some homes near the church that they have. Like they're often in there. But yeah, his office is definitely gonna be in the church. There's a house kind of right nearby where they're in, and I might be forgetting some of the specifics. So that's one of those things we'll have to remember to look up. Did they live there? Do they have homes near them? Because that's got to be in some of the information.
He lives like the rectory, right?
Yeah, well, we'll say in this case because they came in from overseas. They essentially in a small house nearby.
Okay.
Because that is one of the perks of coming here. It's like, oh yeah, we'll get this, and we'll also get our own little place. So yeah, he has a house nearby, but he also has an office in the church.
I think I'm gonna go to the church under the guise of like just being there to worship.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to try to sneak into the back office.
Okay. So yeah, while you were doing that, Steve, is there anything you're doing that's kind of forwarding this stuff?
Is there anything that Giselle wants Eldrick to be doing?
As long as nothing crazy is happening, you don't need to stay near me. Giselle is very weak, so that is your main job, is just making sure she doesn't die.
He's your bodyguard for the time you're here. That's literally why he was sent.
Oh yeah, no, when you picked him up, I was like, that's perfect, because literally my number one fear for her as a character, I'm like, why did I build this character? She's great at scribing, which makes sense for this town, but like as a character, what does she do? If that wolf had done to her what it did to Thordak, she would have died 17 times over.
Oh my god.
Thordak was the perfect companion for that scenario.
Thordak's like, I got armor.
Like if we know fighting is gonna happen, Thordak is the man we send.
Yeah, but I imagine like the mages are somewhat aware that glass.
Yeah,
and useful glass.
Well, Zalden likes.
Nessa, you went a little.
You went
robotic. Ooh, sorry.
What were you saying you wanted him to do?
Keep an eye on either me or Percy, dealer's choice.
All right, I think he's gonna go with Percy to the church, because if Percy and the big guy come in, people are gonna pay more attention to the big guy. So he's kind of just being the distraction at the church.
Church have a confessional?
Yes.
Okay. I think that Percy is going to sneak into the confessional. And then, actually, I think he's going to sneak in when he sees, and then when he sees the priest has left, when he notices the priest has left, and kind of sneak in, and then Odric is going to just guard the door.
I'm gonna go out the door.
You're going to guard the door.
Okay.
You said you're going
so basically
into the confessional?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just with it. Or if you want to talk with Eldrick about what it is you two want to do, because I'm a little unsure with how you just described it.
So I want to sneak into the confessional. Actually, I don't know if that's gonna work. Is there like a second entrance in confessionals or no?
No, it's just a booth.
My main points of reference are both Sin City and the Hot Priest thing in Fleabag.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
this is what I'm thinking of.
All right. What I'm going to do is I want you are going to go into the confessional, and you're going to occupy the priest. I don't care what you confess to, just confess. All right. The worst he can do is make you go say Hail Marys. Like that's all you gotta do. But I need you to occupy him. I'm gonna sneak into the office.
Got it. All right, I got it. I'll keep him occupied. I got a lot of stuff to confess.
You see, like, as the two of you enter the church together, or
Yeah. Well, I think he's gonna go in a little bit. It's like I'm gonna go in first. Come in about a couple minutes after me. You should see me heading into the confessional.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, he's gonna go in.
and they come in. Yeah, as you go in, there's a few people in here at this time, not many. And up towards the front, you see Father Thompson speaking with someone. Then kind of sees you coming in, like looks you over because again you're a big dude. And just walks over and goes, "I don't believe I know you. I'm Father Thompson."
Hi, Eldrick Caecilius. I'm new around here, and I need to do some confessionals, and got some stuff I got to get off my chest.
Certainly. Kind of laughs at the wording, but yes, come with me. He goes over into like one of the confessionals and like motions towards it.
All right, I'm gonna go into my side.
All right. As soon as he's going in, Percy comes in and kind of he's good at stealth, so he kind of like hangs by the back of the rectory, not the rectory, the I don't know what it's called.
The back part of the church.
The back part of the church, yes. And kind of like hang against the walls until he finds the hallway toward like the priest's office and quarters.
Yeah,
and
make your stealth roll as you're kind of heading through there. There's not a lot of people back there.
Stealth roll. Let me get this up. Okay.
Come on, dice.
Stealth. Simple. Ooh, nice.
Ooh,
All right.
11.
You've been in a lot of places like this before. There is the like nice big end of the hall room that you can see as you walk down one of them, and the nice big end of the hall room with the large windows looking out on the kind of the sea that's behind them. That is not the one the second fiddle gets. There are, however, along that same hallway a couple smaller rooms. And as you're going through, you open up one, and very quickly as you're looking in this, it's got like the books and stuff on the shelves, Bibles and other things. You see papers and such on the desk. This one strikes you as probably being Thompson's.
All right, I start looking through the papers and such. I'm looking for handwriting samples, right? Okay, so I'm looking for like letters that he's like in the middle of writing. Ones, and I'm kind of keeping an eye out for ones that I don't think would be missed. Like ones like that would be like a letter to the grocer, a letter to like one of the church members, one that he might think that he had forgotten, right? So I'm looking just for letters, and I'm kind of stuffing them in my pockets. Yeah,
and as you're sort of going through those, make a legerdemain roll while we're doing this. Hello, my son. How long has it been since your last confession?
Never.
New to the church?
Very new. Very new.
Have you been baptized?
Yeah, I was baptized, but it was a while ago, and I've not kept up with it.
Okay. What do you have to confess?
Oh, I think he's gonna start confessing to, because one of his abilities is guile, avoiding duties.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's gonna start confessing to all the times when he was a soldier that maybe someone died because he wasn't where he was supposed to be, or the people that he killed in the fighting and stuff like that. Just like he's laying out the laundry list of soldier baggage.
He seems pretty understandable about the people you have killed and such. It sounds like he himself was at least maybe didn't fight in like the Crusades, but at least knew about that stuff. He seems to take much more exception, however, when you're talking about the times you shirked your duty, people got hurt, things along those lines. Sarah, make one more stealth roll to see if you manage to get out without anybody seeing you back into the main part.
Yes.
All right, you go through. Yeah, with the 10. Yeah, that's average. We're not quite up to the hard stuff. You make your way out, and you just come out of the door, and have kind of like walked a little bit away from it when you see Dean Victor make his way in to the walk in through the church. He's speaking with one of the like essentially one of those like the ladies that are constantly going to church and have been for like 70 years. And is like just sort of seems to make themselves live long enough to bother the priest or whatever more. Yeah, they're coming out together as you go by the confessional.
I think I do this like as I go by, I make a subtle like little like a knock on the side of the door, like just very very subtle, like Eldrick would know, like, okay, you can wrap it up type thing.
Other people are like, damn, this guy's very disrespectful. He really needs to confess.
I pushed my sister down the stairs and I blamed it on the dog.
He's knocking on the door trying to get the other guy out of there so he can get in.
Mom, I'm starting to like this kid.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Question: the dean is the one that's friendly with the mages, or at least friendly-ish with the mages,
Yeah,
right?
he's also the one that's currently in charge.
I'm debating if Percy wants to tell him to watch his back.
Well, I'm kind of assuming that if the neighbors know, that they'll also be like, I don't know, they'll spread word or something.
Okay, that's fair.
I guess if they don't spread word, then we'll tell the priest it later.
All right, so I make my way out of the church, pockets full of letters.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna wait by the side of the door for Eldrick to come out.
Yeah, Eldrick
he
finishes confessing everything.
Yeah, he gives you a pretty hefty penance that you're supposed to do. I don't know exactly what those will be. I don't know if there actually is a list in the church book.
6,900 Hail Marys.
Yeah. Yeah, he basically, like, especially the dereliction of duty stuff, that's the stuff that he seems to have taken particular penance is 29 times in here. Yeah, he gives you like a fairly lengthy one to do.
Okay.
You will do the and be sure to tithe extra.
Yep. Eldrick is laying it on thick. Okay. Thank you, Father. I appreciate your forgiveness. He's gonna leave.
Okay. It's just sort of looking after you. You're not going to see the judgment in his eyes, but if the camera were there watching, you'd see him just like what the hell's wrong with this guy? As you make your way back, I'm assuming you both make your way back to where Giselle's staying.
Yep.
Giselle, I have presents.
Good.
I just unload my pockets with like letters.
And I have a present for you.
And I've been forgiven of my sins.
Good job.
Wonderful. I give you back the silver that you spent.
Oh, yay! You didn't have to. Like, I stole this. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, I can always get more.
Look, as long as you get receipts, we will not recompense. I do this as part of my job. I
don't know if there were a lot of receipts back then.
Yeah,
I thought you
as
said
long
I
Michael
will
as
take.
couldn't.
Thank you for fulfilling your debts. I appreciate that. I'm putting it in my pocket.
all right, I guess I just immediately get to work. To be a scribe role.
Yeah, as you had. So, what kind of stuff are you putting into the letters?
I guess I'll write it like POV from the guy. I like try to get a sense of his tone, but like make it a little bit more pompousy about how um, about how I think it's a great idea that we should rat on the neighbors, and about the whole magic thing and the illegal business when the higher ups are in town, and that it'll totally get the current dean ousted. And, because I'm the one who rats on him, of course they'll give the position to me. And once I'm in charge, there's gonna be all kinds of stuff coming down the pipeline for you guys as a thank you for helping me by once again ratting out your neighbors for their illegal business practices.
Yeah, you grab the stuff. You go ahead and make your scribe roll. Do you want to make this
Okay,
look
I'm
like
just gonna-
his writing?
I'm gonna do regular because I feel like this is not a specialty. Okay, 10. That was with a +7, so
So let me make a note here.
You could use confidence. Confidence.
Oh yeah, you do. You can spend confidence after the fact. Oh, by the way, give yourself. It turns out for all your mage characters and also your companions, give them 2 confidence for each session they've appeared in, because actually you can have as much confidence. There's not like a limit there. So I need to remember to start giving that to mages and companions. That's usually count on about 2 a session, 2 to 3, and our sessions are a bit
Okay.
shorter. So yeah, basically like just about 2 a session would probably fit there. You can only spend in a single roll as much as your confidence score, and usually something like a pretty memorable has to happen to raise up your confidence score.
So the confidence has to you add 1 confidence for each session they appeared in.
No, 2.
2. So what? So that 3. That's the max confidence.
No. It actually turns out your confidence score is 1. You can only spend 1 per thing, but you start off with 3 confidence. You can have kind of as much. So this is actually something we can use kind of a lot more because there's not like a max on there.
okay.
Yeah, so yeah, if you want to make this, so basically what happened is he would end up making, like, as he looks it over, he would have to make a roll to see if he can kind of suss it out. A 13 goes above hard. Like a 10 is just above average. Hard is 12.
I'd like to spend a confidence and see what happens.
Okay. Yeah, you sit there and you kind of double down on it. Now, one of the things that is useful, because you're a scribe and you basically, you've sometimes copied specific things about the way things are put in. Like you're not always using your own handwriting as a scribe because you're trying to match sometimes very specific ways people put things. So yeah, it takes you some time, but yeah, you manage to get like the letters and such made.
Okay. I'm not exactly a forger, but I think this would do.
Works. I was gonna get into the shop, into the neighbor's house, but we gotta wait for Friday for the game.
The real question is, how would it have ended up in the neighbor's house? Should we put it like in the mailbox, like it got misdelivered or something?
No,
There's
no,
not
they
really
have to-
postal in
They
that
have to
that
repeat
sense.
it. Maybe we put it in the grass, like it blew out their window.
Then how do we guarantee that the neighbors pick it up and not somebody else?
Michael, is there such a thing as like like those guys who run legal documents in New York? Like a child who
Courier?
just delivers like a courier, like a child who just
I
brings you
say-
Like it would be like someone you personally have, like that kind of stuff. If you have letters like that, you're probably delivering it itself. Thompson might have this. Thompson would probably deliver something like this himself simply because of the nature of it, or if he had someone very, very trusted or a place to leave it, something along those lines.
Giselle, do you have any candy?
I do. We could do.
We can get a child. We give the child candy and tell them to give the letter to the owner of that house.
and that they found it in the yard.
Yes. And kids will do a lot for candy.
I like the energy. I think that's going to be Plan B. Percy, are you okay with that being Plan B?
I mean, yeah, it's not the perfect plan.
But it's a plan.
It is a plan.
I tried.
No, it's something. There are legs there.
Should we just put it in their door? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's like they accidentally found it. You just put it in their door.
Oh yeah, we could just put it in an envelope and write a note that was like, I found these letters. I thought they would be of use to you or something.
Yes. Yes. They just need to know the information. They don't have to, it doesn't have to be like, oh, it accidentally got into our hands. No, they just have to know the information without being linked back to us.
I wish the eye thing would work on memories. That would be cool.
I mean,
you could always just disguise. Sarah, what's your character's name?
Percy.
You can always just disguise Percy.
As, yeah.
Get a wig and a dress. I'm sure you could pass as a woman.
Thank you.
I said
You hitting on me?
no.
All right. Let's just put in the door. First off, how many letters have we written? Just the one?
Yeah, just the one. I think maybe we just I'll just do a note in like a completely different handwriting that's just like found these might be of use to you. And then do you want to be the one to deliver? And if so, do you want a wig?
You know what? Disguise might not be a bad idea. Not a dress. Not a dress.
Okay.
I appreciate the compliment that you think I'd make a really a good looking woman, but not a dress.
Okay.
I'm just saying both of you need to open yourselves up to more experiences.
I'm open to experiences. I just don't want to be in a dress.
That's fair. Also, you
There
have to
isn't
do
a
it
dress that would
especially.
fit me.
Well, you'd be hard. We'd have you hard pressed finding a dress to fit you. To be fair.
Okay, so is this one that Percy's going alone to drop this stuff off, or?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I do kind of want to maybe. Part of me wants to be like nearby in case of an emergency, but then the other part of me is like, no, woods.
Is this an urban area or is this a country
Oh,
area?
this is a city. This is one of those planned cities that is
Okay.
it's set up by a dock. This is. I will say though, where they're at. Well, there's the city itself. When you leave the city, they're not terribly far outside of it, but they are because they do have like plots of farmland. So they've got some like manor houses and such that are
So
a little
these-
bit outside the city limits.
Okay, so my stealth is specialty in urban areas. Can I use my specialty for this? You think?
And actually, when you get that far out, because you will be over by their land and such.
Okay.
Like that's the houses. You don't know if they've got offices or something in the city itself.
Gotcha. All right. So I make my way down to the houses.
All right, make your stealth roll.
Okay.
So as you're kind of sneaking out, then there's people that are while there's people like working the fields. There's people getting ready for stuff. Okay, it's about average here. As you go in, like there's sort of like a weird chill in the air as you sort of go in, and you said you're slip it into the door, like underneath. As you slip it underneath the door, you hear, you hear a voice call. Someone at the door. They're at the door. The voice feels like it is. It's something you've never quite heard before. It's sort of, while it's loud, it's a little bit distant, and there seems to be around it some sort of there's a bit of an extra sound there, as if it's coming through something. Later on, when you explain it to Nessa to Giselle will be aware of, those are my friends. my ghostly problem.
Mm.
And you hear footsteps, and then there's this weird thing, and you hear "Devil's that," and you hear some like footsteps coming very quickly towards the door.
All right. I sneak away. I think I can do that thing, where like Spider-Man into the door frame where you get high up.
It's just a door. Like that's.
Oh.
Just maybe it's low enough.
I was saying
on
the thing
roof.
is it's going to be different because you've got like you had to come up the road towards this. You've got the fields and such around, but it is a
The
manor
crops
house.
are well growing.
It's
though.
a manor house that doesn't come up right next to it. Like it's one of those things where it sounds like they're going to be at the door before you're able to get all the way out to get to any place.
Oh, I have a cloak. I pull it around myself. Because I'm waiting at the door.
Because it opens, goes, what?
Alms for the poor.
Takes a moment and just looks.
Alms for the poor.
Where the hell do you think you've come? Begging here?
Please. Alms for the poor.
And he takes a step in, and you see him kind of grabbing for a cane. He was coming here, begging here.
And I run off. I book it.
Okay. Yeah, and you start to haul ass as you see him like kind of out there, and then like slips a little bit and looks down at the envelope. Looks up.
What's up?
I was going to say, people in this area should be more careful. You never know when a queen might be gracing your doorstep.
And this is how you get Beauty and the Beast. I swear.
All right. That evening, are the three of you back at the tavern?
Yeah. Oh God. I hate almost being caught. It pisses me off. Oh, by the way, there was voices, weird echoey voices when I was trying to put things under the door.
Oh, that was. I'm assuming you describe it with a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, sounds like you met the girls.
The girls.
Pardon?
Yeah, they've been following me for a long time. I don't know why they would be a collection of young women taken too soon, usually before or after, sometimes by their husbands, sometimes not.
You are followed by ghosts?
Yeah, they want stuff from me. I know that sounds very like off the cuff, but after about, after 10 plus years, you start to get kind of lax about it.
Why were they telling people I was at the door?
Michael, I'm gonna say this. Is this like, do they normally just like fuck with me and like that, or is this not normal?
They like to cause problems. I think part of the thing we talked about was they basically want you to kill your fiance, the one you fled from. Yeah, they have a tendency to make things problematic. They visit you sometimes, but they do like to fuck with your plans because you're not doing what they want you to do.
Yes. They have designs on me. I like to, because of I like to think of him as my ex-fiance, even though it was never really called off officially. And as such, they usually they just mess with me, but sometimes they'll mess with the people around me just for fun.
It would have been really nice to know about this from the start.
Okay, they've been quiet for a while. I didn't know that they were going to start acting up again.
And then three people sit themselves at the table with you. So Tyrius just looks and goes, looks like the plan's moved up. You three in? And I'm assuming, Nessa, you have to leave here pretty quick?
I haven't heard word yet, so.
But this still sounds like, because I know you got to leave soon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're in.
This sounds like a good place for the cut to next week.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, Giselle's gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm in."
Okay. yeah, so let's make a note. Ends with let people know where we can find you folks.
I'm Sarah. I'm Powerful Week 1 on TikTok and Powerful Week almost everywhere else.
Hello, I am Nessa, and the reason that I am running off and why I'm performing for you from a closet on my phone is that I am in Baltimore right now with Moonshot Podcast Network, and we raised $5,885.31 for mutual aid disaster relief
Nice.
this weekend. And I'm very excited about it. But now I have to go home because the weekend's over. And you can find me everywhere.
I saw Jeff Stormer was there. We did Worldwide Wrestling with him once.
You won't believe who's giving me a ride to the train station.
Oh, tell him hello. We're mutuals on Twitter and for not Twitter. Well, still on Twitter, I think, but I'm not using it much. But
come on over to Blue Sky because I think we're all over there.
Yeah, I'm on those two.
Wait, did I follow you on Blue Sky yet, Nessa? Thought I did.
If not, I will follow you.
I am Steve. I'm the Dragon X everywhere. Everywhere being TikTok. You can also find me on Beards and Barbarians every Friday night, as well as the Ronin's Den podcast.
And I'm Michael. I'm Improv GM everywhere, and we will catch y'all later.